Investment in digital infrastructure has seen Rwanda's internet coverage grow to one of the highest on the continent. However, digital content developers are not sufficiently availing the platform, mostly due to low literacy. This has prompted the government to come up with a strategy to guide digital content development.
This strategy that we are developing is the first ever local digital content development strategy that we have. And it came up, the ministry realized that after the government has invested heavily in infrastructure development to provide broadband services, the next big step is now to have some content running over that infrastructure. And we realized that we cannot simply leave it to the population to come up with their own content. There has to be a strategy that guides the way the content is produced, the way it is stored, the way it is hosted, the way it is distributed. And this is what the strategy is trying to outline in a way that is clear to everyone, so that we are able as a country to harness the power of content in the transformation of the society in general.
I mean, this is a very good initiative. You know, we are in that room, we are private, we are public-private, we are civil society, they are the academia in the same room trying to solve a problem all together. I think we need to capitalize on that, on the momentum whereby digital economy, digital local content is really prime at this time. We need to capitalize on that and move forward.
Inadequate digital literacy among most internet users in the country is a critical issue that calls for investment in education for sustainable skills development.
Local artists here in Rwanda, not much or not many of them. Some artists use the social media, use Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, but there are many artists who doesn't know how to use it. So that is the another issue we have, the challenge I face in this industry. I work with them. So every day I try to speak to them to use those social media, because when you see how the world is so global, so you need to have some access on social media to tell your people, to tell your fans how is it, how is your goods, what is the next song. So when you didn't use that platform, maybe in this world we can't blow up or we can move on.
Basically, it is the issue of digital literacy, but also piracy. That is actually killing, preventing local artists from taking advantage of the opportunities that are there that the country has developed. When we talk about skills, we are also talking about education. Education is it's the government who should actually devise ways and means, put in place means to access those skills.
There certainly is a tremendous challenge doing skills development, because media training is expensive. You know, just in terms of the investment you have to make in equipment and in having quality instructors come in. And so, you know, it's not a cheap thing to do. And, and there's still a lot more skills development that needs to happen. What we have found doing our own training is that we have to teach not only technical skills, but also storytelling skills. You know, we talk about we want Rwandans telling Rwandan story. Well, to do that well, you have to be a good storyteller. And that's whether you are working in journalism or education. It doesn't matter where. You know, actually, just like our conversation today, we are trying to tell a story about training and workforce development. Well, there's a lot of different aspects to it. If you look first on the education side, in the West there was a lot of attempts to provide high-level education materials for free, and the expectation was suddenly all these Rwandans were going to use these free materials. And it turns out it didn't work because all of his content was designed for Europeans or Americans, and it was neither culturally sensitive nor even sort of from the point of view of curriculum design. It wasn't designed for the people who are here. So there's a lot of challenges around, content development and making it relevant, right, to a local audience. And of course, there's language, but the challenge there is the number of people who speak Kinyarwanda is a small market. So from a commercial point of view, designing content exclusively for Rwandans is challenging from a business point of view. And so there's no easy answer to this. Or if there was, I would be rich by now. So there's a lot of things still to figure out about, as somebody mentioned earlier, how to monetize content creation so that somebody can support themselves making videos.
While digital infrastructure is being developed, one wonders whether the digital industry is profitable enough for people to engage in content creation. If it's not, what needs to be done to ensure the industry significantly contributes to national economic growth?
It rolls down to education, to mass education, public education. Arts are not for free, but also, and this is very important, the legal framework that curtails or prevents piracy. So that is the legal framework that needs to be enforced across to prevent, free access to creative products.
There's a lot of practical ways in which we're using digital tools all the time. We are here today with a lot of people who are operating cameras, doing photography and videography, and they're being paid to do it. There are a lot of people who are involved in journalism, and so there's a lot of live streaming requests and job opportunities here. We actually have had a 90% employment rate amongst all of the graduates from our program.
We have digital content, but the problem is that we need to formally look at structures and ways to create it, to host it, and to distribute it, to some extent to monetize it as well.
The ICTs in general, the ICT industry in general, is currently contributing to the national GDP by 33%. We want to increase that, but this specific strategy is to make sure that content development is contributing. It has a significant portion of that general ICT contribution to the GDP. As you know, you might have read, and this has been around for quite some time, the saying that content is king. Content is king, and those who have predicted that some 20 years ago have been right so far, because the most popular applications, online applications, are those that provide a platform for people to keep populating it with new content. Look at the social media, look at Twitter, look at WhatsApp, look at Facebook. These platforms are increasingly being popular because they provide the ability for people to keep posting, to keep uploading new content. So that's why we are trying to have that strategy so that this portion of the industry is also meaningful in that contribution to GDP.